Charlie Kirk got shot and killed. How do you feel?
Happy. Goodbye.
Wow. Did you see that Charlie Kirk just got shot and killed?
That's good.
Wow. That's good. That's good that people are getting shot just off a political view? Good that people are dying in America?
Did you see that Charlie Kirk got shot and killed today?
Yes, I did.
How do you feel about that?
I don't really have any feelings about it. Who are you?
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed today. We're just getting people's opinions. How do you feel about that?
Girl, someone had to do it. And that's how I feel at this point in time. But
Yeah, I appreciate your honesty. I truly do. So you said someone had to do it.
yes.
Try not to get all pulled up into that, but he was a misogynist. He was a disgusting person with disgusting beliefs.
So if you had a magical wand, a magical button that you could press and keep him from being assassinated, would you press that?
No. I think things happen for a purpose. And if that's how his life was ended, then that's how it was ended, so.
Wait, sorry, are people actually feeling sorry for Charlie Kirk? The guy who made a career out of despising anyone that wasn't straight, white and male and encouraging other people to do what he was doing. I mean, look, feel free to feel empathy for him, but this is what the guy you're mourning thought about that.
I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up new age term that does a lot of damage, but...
You know what else does damage, Charlie? No, we shouldn't go there. I mean, that being said, this is what Charlie said about people who lose their lives to guns in America.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal.
Yeah, that one worked out for him, didn't it? Look, spare us the faux sympathy and outrage that people aren't feeling remorseful that Charlie Kirk is no longer alive. He was evil. Charlie Kirk was pure evil. And the world is a better place without people like Charlie Kirk in it. And you can boo me for saying that. But deep down, you know that I'm right.
You all don't seem to realize, all you blagger people, Black MAGA, a white man killed another white man in a state that is 89% white. His audience was 99.9% white. And today, you MAGA shits now have HBCUs on lockdown. Not the white colleges. So everything that we have always said about you white MAGA people hating black people, which was the bottom line of Charlie Kirk, you have just shown your hand. A white man killed a white man in a 89% white state with a 99.99% white audience, and you fuckers want to go blow up HBCUs. Yeah, I don't think you realize these black people today are not going to say massa.
What's up, my lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. So America is once again facing the grim reality of gun violence. And this time round, it's not the usual narrative we often hear about. Conservative media figure Charlie Kirk was gunned down while speaking at Utah University, reportedly by a white man. So his death has sparked a lot of fierce divide across America. Some are mourning him, while others, particularly the white liberals, say they feel no empathy, calling him a racist and a misogynist. So let's take a deeper look.
Alright, so I have seen the video multiple times from various angles. And yeah, I gotta say, he does look better in red. But that's not what I want to talk about, okay? Of course, naturally, there's going to be the virtue signaling coming in from really both sides, mostly the right, but, you know, yeah. But yeah, and you know, they're gonna be saying shit like, oh, he was a husband and father, it's not right to be like cheering someone's death. And I'm just like, look, this man said he hated empathy, okay? I'm just respecting his wishes. But honestly, empathy has its limits, okay? And quite frankly, like, MAGA as a whole has just completely exhausted my empathy. I got nothing for y'all. Like, not even the concept of. And no, I don't condone violence, but it could not have happened to a better person, you know? And as for his wife and daughters, you know what? His wife is young enough to remarry. She'll be fine, you know? And as his daughters, considering the shit that he's been saying about women, I'd say they're better off. I don't even think that condolences are really fitting here. I'd say congratulations are in order. I mean, like, literally nothing of value was lost. But there is a lesson to be learned here, okay? And the moral of the story is don't be a piece of shit. And maybe, just maybe, people won't feel as inclined to shoot you in the neck and have you bleeding out like a water faucet. Just saying. Bottom line, he was a waste of carbon, and the world is now a more beautiful place now that he has left it.
Personally, I will never celebrate somebody being murdered, but that doesn't mean that I have to have sympathy either. Charlie Kirk is going to have a legacy, but it's going to be a bad legacy to a lot of us. And he will be remembered by all of the hateful and racist rhetoric that he spread while he was alive. And it's crazy that Laura Loomer really got on X to say that she's going to ruin the livelihoods of anyone that is celebrating or happy that Charlie Kirk died. But yet there was the same fucking woman that got on X a few months ago saying things like, feeding illegals to the gators. We need more of that energy. The alligators have 65 million meals guaranteed if we start now. So you can promote and encourage the death of 65 million fucking Latinos, but Charlie Kirk is where we draw the line. You guys are fucking delusional. It's crazy to say that Dems are the fucking problem when the majority of mass shootings in this country have been far-right, white Christian nationalists. Yes. But one person shoots Charlie Kirk, and all of a sudden we have a Dem problem? Like, really, what is the experience to be this fucking delusional?
You don't believe that Palestine have the right to exist?
No, everyone has a right to exist. Show me where it is. It's a non-existent place.
Okay, yeah, I don't think we're gonna.
That's why we're on different planets, right? But what is the national identity of Palestine? Educate me.
Palestinians.
What is that?
Like, what do you mean? What is that?
Yeah, what ethnicity are they?
Arabs?
Okay, so all Arabs are Palestinians?
No, but they are Arabs? What you trying to say? What is your point?
I'm trying to say, because at what point does somebody become a Palestinian?
When he was born in Palestine, or if his parents are Palestinians?
Again, this is why we're talking past each other.
What you trying to say?
I don't think the place exists.
What?
Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. It's not called Palestine.
Charlie Kirk had no sympathy for the kids in Gaza. Charlie Kirk had no sympathy for inhumanely locking up my people in cages. Charlie Kirk had no sympathy for women, saying that if his daughter were to get sexually assaulted, he would force her to keep the kid. He spread and planted ideas of racism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, and anti-LGBTQ. However, no one should die at the hands of another man, and unfortunately that's what happened with Charlie Kirk. He was shot and killed on live TV, 4K, in front of his 2 daughters and his wife. Deepest and dearest of condolences truly to his loved ones, and especially to his wife, who had to watch that live. But people need to stop acting like he was some hero and like he wasn't spreading hate and division amongst our country for years. I'm going to say this again, no one deserves to go out like he did, no one deserves to die at the hand of another man. But when you are truly only planting weeds in this beautiful garden that we call Earth, you cannot expect flowers to grow. And to all of you who are celebrating his death, there's never a reason to celebrate death.
And out of respect, I actually won't be having any empathy for him in this situation, right? Because he didn't believe in empathy. And he didn't exercise it for other people. And the reality is free speech doesn't mean without consequence. And that includes people who are like, that's so awful, how could you? The things he said about other people and to other people and about the society we lived in, that also had a ripple effect, and you didn't care. I don't even know why so many of you are being so weird about this. I literally went and unfriended like 5 people because it's like, why are you being so weird about this? He had nothing to say when children were gunned down in school praying. Why are you going through the pretense of having empathy for somebody who would not have it for you? It's not about whether or not you're a good person. Empathy is derived through connection. Empathy comes when you are connected. He didn't want to connect to our humanity, so I'm respecting his wishes.
Charlie Kirk didn't deserve this. He said a few deaths a year are worth it if it meant preserving our God-given right to bear arms. He actively fought against women's rights. He's openly Islamophobic, and he spreads anti-trans rhetoric. He supported the ethnic cleansing in Gaza, and he said the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. He called vaccine requirements a medical apartheid and said that empathy is a made-up word. How many children, teens, and adults have died by suicide because of his rhetoric? How many school shootings did he excuse this year? How many women died because they couldn't get access to safe abortions? How many hate crimes happened because of him? Spare me the empathy because he didn't believe in it either. And let's be clear, the only people I have sympathy for are his kids, not his wife. She chose him. She stood by him, she supported him, and she co-signed everything he said and did. She laid in bed with that man knowing exactly who he was. The only people I will feel sorry for are his children. They didn't choose this, and now they have to grow up with the weight of his legacy. Someone said that his daughters didn't deserve to grow up without a dad. Well, they had a dad, and he openly said he would force his daughters to give birth if they were raped. I think they're actually better off without him.
Charlie Kirk has died because of gun violence, and only seconds before he got shot and killed, he was talking about shootings. In fact, he was condemning trans people literally seconds before getting shot. He has been quoted for repeatedly saying that he is okay with people getting shot as long as we retain the Second Amendment. But he made it crystal clear right before he died that too many trans people have been responsible for shootings, even though it is less than 0.1% of all shootings. So even at his very end, he is focused on the wrong issue. And it is, of course, tragic for his family. And the way that he died is insurmountably painful. But how ironic that this man stood for the very thing that ended his life.
You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational. Nobody talks like this. They live in a complete alternate universe.
Bill Clinton in the 1990s, it was all about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Like a fraternity guy and a sorority girl at age 19 hooking up, both 5 drinks in at 2 a.m., and all of a sudden she, removes consent. Yeah, that's a murky middle gray area. And excuse me when I say...
She still removed consent, did she not?
Okay, but again,
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Charlie Kirk's shooting, it shocked the whole nation because he was shot in front of his wife and children. That was too painful. I cannot even imagine the emotional trauma that his family is going through at the moment, And what is even more disturbing is that right after he was shot, a white man was seen celebrating it, Let's have a look. So this reaction, it reveals something darker about America. Political division have grown so toxic that even death no longer unites people. Instead of mourning, we see mockery. So, beyond the politics, and emotions surrounding his life and death, there is a deeper issue here. It is the alarming rise of white-on-white gun violence in America. Our white Americans are increasingly turning guns on each other over politics, ideology, and personal grudges. And this is not a story about race, but about the dangerous culture of guns that have consumed American society. So how many more lives needs to be lost before the government acts on gun control? So, Charlie Kirk's death will remain controversial. Some will view him as a martyr, but others as a man who reaped what he sowed. But regardless of how people feel about him, one fact cannot be ignored. America is bleeding from within. White-on-white gun violence is skyrocketing. Communities are tearing each other apart over political differences, Families are burying loved ones, while politicians keep offering thoughts and prayers instead of offering solutions. Every day, more Americans are dying in schools, churches, campuses, and public spaces, being children, old, young, The cycle continues. The debate, the outrage, and silence, it is a repeat. So the real question is, how many more lives must be lost before America takes decisive action on gun control? At what point does the value of human life outweigh political games? Until then, America will remain armed to the teeth, divided at the core, and paying the ultimate price in blood. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And the opinions on this video are not my opinions, but other people's opinion, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.